man who controls the atmosphere, controls the outcome. What if your presence alone could make people second-guess their confidence? What if your silence could strip them of control? The most dangerous kind of power is the one no one can trace. You walk in, they fall silent. You speak, they agree without thinking. Not because they fear you openly, but because something about your presence bends them. That's not coincidence. Aura is the unseen weapon of rulers. Today, you'll learn how to build yours. Aura is built in how you don't react, in how your calmness unnerves, how your stillness dominates. When you stop trying to impress and start mastering your energy, you become what they can't shake off. Power doesn't always come from action. Sometimes it comes from stillness that feels like a storm. If you want to stop being ignored and start being obeyed, don't raise your voice. Raise your presence. The man who doesn't flinch terrifies everyone else. Visibility is vulnerability. Transparency is a liability. What they see of you must be a shadow, not a mirror. If they can read your face, they can prepare. If they can predict your actions, they can neutralize you. That is how kings fall and pawns win. Not by strength, but by expectation. You will never let them expect you. Mystery is your armor. You do not owe clarity, you owe effect. They can't fight what they can't see. Withdraw strategically. Disappear when expected. Show up when least convenient. Shift your tone, your look, your energy. Not because you're lost, but because you're always becoming. Fluidity is dominance. Predictability is death. This is how aura becomes control. When people begin adjusting themselves to your imagined expectations, never be who they think you are. Never finish the story they start. Always change chapters before they're done reading the last. Aura dies in repetition. So reinvent, evolve. Eliminate old versions of yourself like kings eliminate threats. Quickly, quietly, and without regret. You are not a person in their eyes. You are a possibility, a question, an atmosphere, a fear they cannot shake. That is power, because the ones who cannot be read cannot be resisted. Aura begins before a single word is spoken, before your mouth opens, before your eyes make contact. It begins with silence, with stillness, with the pause that enters a room when you do, and makes everyone else forget what they were just talking about. In a world that performs, you must be felt, not seen, not heard, felt. Niccolo Machiavelli never begged for attention. He engineered it. He understood that true influence starts with perception. Most people mistake volume for power. But the ones who truly dominate, they speak less and command more. Presence is not about what you say. It's about what your existence does to other people. It's psychological, a game of tension and suggestion. A presence so potent it bends the mood of the room before you say a single word. You must subtract, not add. Most people walk into a room and try to fill it with noise, with jokes, with energy. They want to be liked. They want approval. But approval is for the weak. You don't want approval. You want tension. You want silence when you arrive. You want them to glance, then glance again. You want their rhythm disturbed, their instincts triggered. The trick? Stillness. Stillness is unsettling. Most people fidget, twitch, overshare, overperform. But you sit still. You speak slowly. You move as if the world can wait. You occupy space like someone who owns time. That's power. It begins with your walk. Not rushed, not energetic, deliberate. Every step says, I'm not in a hurry, because I'm not chasing anything. You don't chase, you attract. You don't react, you observe. Your posture is straight, not stiff, composed. Your hands don't move unnecessarily. Your head doesn't dart. You're not searching for attention. You are the attention. Dress like your presence is worth something. Not loud, not flashy, sharp, calculated. Every piece you wear should say, "This person doesn't need to prove anything." You're not competing with the loud. You're disarming them by not trying. Most people wear brands to be seen. You wear silence to be remembered. And when you finally do speak, make it slow, controlled. No filler words, no nervous laughter. Speak like someone who weighs their words, because each word costs something. Don't rush to answer. Let silence do the work. The longer your pause, the more weight your answer carries. Let them feel the gap before your voice enters. It creates anticipation, suspense, fear even. That is aura. Do not smile by default. Default smiles signal weakness, a plea for acceptance. Your face should rest in calm authority, not aggressive, not unfriendly, just unreadable, because unreadable people are unforgettable. And here's the secret Machiavelli knew. When people can't read you, they obsess over you. Their minds fill in the blanks. They build stories. They create myth. And the myth becomes more powerful than truth ever could. When you walk into a room, don't try to connect. Let them come to you. If you try to join their rhythm, you've already submitted. You set the rhythm. Make them adjust their energy to yours. You're not cold. You're composed. You're not distant. You're dangerous. Your presence should disturb something primal in them. Not fear exactly, but uncertainty, curiosity, respect that borders on anxiety. They shouldn't know whether they want your approval or your protection. They should only know that you matter. And above all, be consistent. Aura is not a performance you put on for moments. It's an atmosphere you live inside. It's the weight of who you are, even when no one's watching. Because especially when no one's watching, that's when your discipline is forged. Never try to be interesting. Be controlled. Be sharp. Be precise. Because Machiavellian presence is not about being seen all the time. It's about being remembered all the time. So stop trying to be everywhere. Be rare. Be slow. Be still. And watch how the world starts to orbit around you. Power that is easy to access is power that is easy to ignore. If you are always present, always available, always agreeable, you become common. And commonness is the graveyard of power. Let fools offer themselves to the world. Let the desperate advertise their emotions, their time, their presence. You are not one of them. You are rare, and you must act like it. The powerful never chase. They attract. They are not reached. They are sought after. You must become expensive, not in wealth, in energy. Interacting with you should feel like a privilege earned, not a casual encounter. Your attention must feel expensive, because that's what makes people crave it. You don't smile for free. You don't offer your opinion easily. You don't stay in places too long. The mystery of your presence is worth more than the noise of their existence. Stop showing up everywhere. Stop making yourself a predictable fixture in anyone's life. Predictability breeds comfort, and comfort destroys reverence. You want to be loved? Let them miss you. Let them feel your absence. The more they see you, the less they feel you. So withdraw, strategically, casually, ruthlessly, not with malice, with indifference, with precision. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler should aim to be feared more than loved. But the true genius lies in being talked about more than being seen, in becoming the silent topic of conversation, the ghost that governs the room in absence. That is the aura of the rare. They should wonder, where is he? Why doesn't he speak more? Why doesn't he look at me the way others do? These questions are not annoyances. They are the seeds of obsession, and you must feed them, subtly. Show interest briefly, then retreat. Compliment once, then turn cold. Give them presence, then take it away. Not to be cruel, but to train them. To teach them that your attention is not a currency thrown to beggars. It is a kingdom, and entry must be earned. The moment you become too easy to reach, you become too easy to dismiss. Your energy must feel like a limited resource, a thing not everyone gets. A room with velvet ropes, a name spoken with caution. You are not the celebration. You are the standard, the measure, the invisible pressure that makes people rise or shrink. That silence is the message. People crave what they cannot predict, what they cannot hold, what disappears too quickly to define. That must be you. Do not mistake this for arrogance. Arrogance demands attention. But aura withdraws it. You don't need applause. You need silence when you enter a room. You don't need validation. You need conversation to pause in your presence. This is not narcissism. This is dominance. Psychological, tactical, unapologetic. Your opinion is not free. Everything about you must feel earned. And once it's earned, it must never be taken for granted. That is how you make power expensive. Not by screaming, not by demanding, but by being the rarest presence in every room. And the absence they can't stop noticing. Others laugh loudly. You don't. Others panic. You stay still. Others try to command attention. You never even ask for it. Yet it bends to you. Control is never loud. Machiavelli understood the psychology of power better than any war general. He knew that people naturally submit to the one who appears unshaken. If you can remain composed when chaos erupts, they'll start looking to you for direction, even if you give none. Your greatest weapon in any room is stillness. It's unnatural. Do not compete for the spotlight. The sun does not explain itself to candles, because if your presence has weight, your voice becomes command. Even the way you end conversations matters. Never linger. End with purpose, as if your time is too valuable to waste. Stand like someone others wait for, not someone who waits to be heard. And if someone attempts to dominate the room with ego, humor, or status, don't fight them. Let them overexpose themselves. Let them brag. Let them reveal their need for validation. You don't need to match the energy in the room. You set it. You decide whether it feels tense, cold, intimate, or dangerous. This is the highest form of social control, environmental leadership without declaration. They shouldn't know why the air feels heavier when you're there. They shouldn't know why they sit straighter, talk slower, hesitate before speaking. They just will. That's aura. And Machiavelli would tell you this. He who shapes the atmosphere shapes the decisions made within it. People don't follow reason. They follow energy. They obey the one who feels like he's already won. And the one who's already won doesn't speak to prove it. He just exists. Quietly. Unshaken, like gravity. So don't try to be the center of attention. Be the one who owns the energy that surrounds it. When people enter your space, let them feel the difference. Let them adjust to you. And if you want more ruthless truths like this, if you want to sharpen your mind, harden your presence, and build a power that doesn't fade under pressure, then don't just watch. Subscribe. Like. Stay hidden, but never forget. The real kings never need a throne to rule.